Are you vegan? Really? Are you? All right. So, this is my interview with. What is your name? Montserrat María Isabel Martínez Cornelio del Luero Cells.
Wow.
Yeah, alias Monse.
And the topic is Indigenous education. So the first question that I have for you, Monse, is what is your experience with Indigenous education?
At the first time, I thought that you were saying about a school, like
Yeah.
if I was working with a school in an indigenous community. But my experience, if I could thought like that, right? If I was a teacher, but I was a science divulgator. I'm a biologist, and I was part of this project called Science in Movement. So we can bring with this project, we were bringing expositions, itinerantes, like they were moving. We were moving the like little mini museum, interactive museum, with topics as mathematics Mayans, climate change, ecology, and laboratorio móvil. There was a mobile laboratory, and plus another one with chemistry and physical. So we were bringing that to the rural communities in my state, in Tabasco, Mexico. And some of those times, whatever exposition that we were presenting in that little community, we were 3 teams with the 3 different expositions. So we were bringing to this community mathematics Mayans, to this community climate change, and the other one the ecology one. So sometimes, luckily, we brought mathematics Mayans to these communities, like rural communities so far away from the center of the state, or the urbanity. So there were some people that could talk another language, like Yocotan in Nacajuca, en Jalpa, Tabasco, y en Nacajuca, Tabasco, Jalpa de Méndez. There were some little towns where they could speak Yocotan, that is a language in the south of Mexico. And that was kind of an experience with indigenous, but at the same time bringing this topic that was about mathematics Mayans and explain about this culture, that a huge culture that we have in South America, and south of Mexico, central and south, and explaining about mathematics, and so bringing science, culture, and technology to them, and creativity, because they were, for example, mathematics Mayan was like a pyramid. ¿Cómo se dice pirámide?
The pyramid.
And every wall has information about like how they were cultivate like corn, or how they were using their mathematics or their astrology, all that stuff. So it was like a very interactive and educational time.
So
I think you should sit here, if I can just say. So for the video, you guys are right next to each other. On the bench, maybe.
yeah.
Do you want?
Okay. Bueno.
Everything is good.
And Monse, try to make sure to answer her questions like
I'm already recording.
full on. Yeah.
I can edit this out.
Yeah. Of course.
So the next question I have. So what drove your passion for education? Like what made you want to share and learn all of these things and pass it on?
I think that most as a, I don't think it as someone that I'm looking for, like teach, but it's just something that the life or the destiny have been brought me to. Like I didn't expect to work with kids, and I didn't expect to work teaching. None of those. And the way that project to me or came to me in a funny way, because we were going to these rural places and see the kids is like the faces of the kids or the people around, like seeing like what is happening in this town. And then I remember, and this is one of the stories, a lot of stories that I have from that program, but this one was in Acajuca precisamente. We brought this trailer inside of the school in the middle of recess, So the kids were like, "What is happening here? What is happening?"
¿Qué es esto?
and then they were, when we were opening the door, my friend just I mean, they will see a lot of material just put in there, but my friend screamed this, "Careful with the lion!" when he was throwing it down. So all the kids just, they were so close, they run away and yelling. So that was like some emotions. Plus, when you are teaching them about something that they know that is happening, yeah, it's getting hot, or there's more snow or something. Now they know why.
Yeah,
Right?
because
In
they
a-
understand their surroundings
Exactly.
now.
And they can understand with that how can they help
Yeah.
to control the climate change,
Yeah.
right? Like, don't use a lot of electricity when you're not
Yeah.
at home, or throw the garbage in their places. Trying to don't use a lot of garbage, or like
Preserving.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and see their faces like emotion, and they wanted to come back and come back again to the exposition. That was like, that brought me this passion to work with kids
Yeah.
and with every person. Like, you can find old people when we are performing, my husband and I,
Yeah.
and see these old people, like, they don't want to see poem, but then the other person want it, so they see their faces changing.
Yeah.
That-
Well, no, and also it's your energy too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, how has it impacted how you interact with others? Like your, because you said that like education just kind of happened to you, and then you just started to like incorporate like the science and the math of the Mayan. How has that impacted how you interact with the children?
I mean, I was a little nervous
Yeah.
because you can think that they are kids, they will learn, or they will be up to learn, but you have only 2 minutes of attention, and then everything is spread. So you have to get it. You can just say like, yeah, I mean, I have to, this amount of kids visiting me, but the thing is like, I don't want to be just someone that is giving them something that they won't remember. So I need to make it like so fun, or so like, do you know that happened to the bear, or no, like so theatrical.
Yeah. Es
Sometimes
como
you
las
have to cry.
telenovelas.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to cry to let them understand. And so
Dramatic, yeah.
so you have to just be creative with that.
Yeah, totally.
So,
I understand that. Yeah, that's
And I
so,
like it.
That's awesome. Like, it was really cool for me to hear about your story when you were telling me all of the stuff that you do. I was like, wow, like it sounds like you've done a lot. That's incredible. ¿Y cuántos años tienes ahora?
30.
Oh, te creo.
And
Wow.
I feel that I haven't done I mean, maybe we don't see it like that. We don't take a step back to see what is happening in our life, right?
Yeah.
How it had happened. And since I met Kirk, I'm so proud to say it. My husband,
Yeah.
he taught me to do that step back, and then realize that that everything that I have become
Yeah.
was because when I was a kid, my dad forced me to take piano lessons, but at the same time that helped me to have this musicality and take the confidence being in front of people, talking or singing, because we needed to sing for the memory of my grandfather. So we were with a lot of the city in front of us. I mean, there was a small city, but still, like, we were singing when you were young. And now I feel that confidence that I learned there. I have, I mean, everything that is happening. Like, if you study art, and if your friend from your neighbor was something different, you were capturing that information, and at the
Yeah.
end, you are using it for your life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Life skills, they call it. Life
Yeah.
skills. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, that's really awesome. Thank you for sharing your story. That's
You're welcome.
amazing.
Well, hold on. Can I ask one question? And I think
Yeah.
it might be good for your video, and you could ask it to her
Yeah,
too
yeah.
if you want.
Okay.
Is ask her about her future in Indigenous education.
Yeah, you know what? That's like what is your intention, and where do you see yourself?
So when you said I work with the indigenous community, and then you saw my face, like, and I just turned to Kirk, and it's like, "Yes, sir." Because when we came back, we were in the United States, right? And when I was here in Mexico before I left to the United States, I was working in this program for 3 years, and I tried to start my business entertainment,
Yeah.
but with science.
Oh.
And at that time I needed to go because in other ways I will be losing the program that I paid for, that it was to go and learn English, but I was a little afraid to go and told to people in English. Now I can do it. But
Perfecto.
but at the beginning I was scared. So, but I took the cojones and I went to the United States and I learned English for 3 years. But when I was here, I was teaching with, working with kids, but I was more in the biology
Yeah.
side of my life, in the science. But my passion is dance and create and so when I was in the United States, I learned about dance and music, and I was singing too. Then I met this beautiful person, and when we came back to Mexico, I was like, what am I gonna be doing? Should I go back to the science? Should I keep in the art scene? So one night I was just dreaming about the future, and I
Yeah.
woke up and I said, Kirk, I know what I want to do now, because we were I was in that season of what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah.
He has a job, like he create, like what can I do? What can I do? And that morning, I woke up and think like, why I cannot mix this that have happened in my life with the indigenous community and supporting indigenous community, like real indigenous, like people that speak Zapoteca o Yocotán, o algunos que hablan maya, que están arraigados en la ciudad,
Sí.
that they are far from the point of view. Go to their communities and work with them in art, like
Yeah.
showing us their art that they have, and at the same time bring people from inside of the city to see that and help them, like friends that are painters or musicians that want to go and teach the community some art, but at the same time make a song of what they were seeing there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work in that idea.
Trying to navigate. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and hey, this is this community, and they have so much talent there.
I know. Honestly, when I come, every time I come here, I feel so enlightened with my indigenous spirit, because I feel like there's a lot of really good things going on with indigenous culture here. So like when I come here, I always go home feeling like, thank you, creators, like thank you for every day.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
And do you guys share a connection of like being really in tune with the elements of the earth? I feel like you have that indigenous element built into you, where you definitely
And I'm
are
pressing.
the thing that she's most in tune with.
Yeah, look at, like, you embody the earth spirit for sure. Like,
Uh-huh.
she embodies earth spirit.
Yeah.
For me, I'm water spirit. I love the water.
Nice.
I'm a fire sign, but I'm an earth, like a water spirit. So, you know, it's just like, just being appreciative, right? Like, just being thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does the indigenous history of your country and your family affect who you are now?
To me,
Both of you.
How does the indigenous, sorry, say it again?
How does the history of your family affect who you are now?
I think it gives me like a sense of identity, knowing where I came from, and like giving me a connection to where I came from. Like with us, we call it Smayusta. So it's like the story of how you came to where you are.
Yeah.
And so it gives me a connection, and it lets me know that I have a past, and this is what ties me to where I am right now, and this means that I belong. Like
Yeah.
I am where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monse?
I'm the Olmeca goddess of Kirk.
Yes.
In my state, but I don't feel like that that tied my soul. I mean, not myself, my body to and my ancestors to an indigenous community. But in soul and in spirit and in knowledge, my state, Tabasco, is part of the culture of the Olmec culture and Mayan culture. So we have those two civilizations living in the place that I live. So, yeah, that's it.
It's beautiful.
Because my head is not like that, like a cabeza olmeca.
It's beautiful. The first thing I saw about you was your hair, and I was like, oh my god, she's beautiful. I was like, wow, goddess. Yeah.
Really, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
anything else?
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Say bye to this chat.